Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Peter Dubois. First tonight, the Kennebec County Grand Jury has indicted a sheriff's deputy.
29-year-old Daniel Ross of West Gardner was arrested in August after a report was made to the Kennebec County Sheriff's Office that Ross had been assaulting his wife while off duty. Deputies contacted Maine State Police after speaking with his wife, and as a result of their investigation, troopers arrested Deputy Ross while he was on duty. He is currently on paid administrative leave. Ross was indicted on 15 counts, including domestic violence assault, domestic violence criminal threatening with a dangerous weapon, unlawful sexual contact, and gross sexual assault. An Oregon man was also indicted by the grand jury. 26-year-old Damian Sanchez was arrested by Augusta police after he allegedly raped his girlfriend, struck her in the head with a beer bottle, and strangled her at an Augusta hotel in August. Police say their one-year-old son was with them when the alleged incident occurred. And a man who was the subject of a 3-day search after escaping from the Riverview Psychiatric Center in Augusta was also indicted. Officials say 32-year-old Anthony Wack was placed at the center after he was found not criminally responsible for multiple charges of theft and burglary. According to police, he escaped the facility within 24 hours of being there. Wack was eventually found in New Hampshire. He was indicted for escape.
The Waldo County Sheriff's Office is asking for your help locating a missing girl. They say 14-year-old Ariana Montgomery was last seen on October 14th in Orland, Maine. Montgomery left the residence with a friend and has not yet returned home. She's been in contact with family via Snapchat, but hasn't been heard from since Saturday. Any information should be directed to Detective Casey Ashey at the Waldo County Sheriff's Office. You can reach him at 207-338-2040.
Well, 2 individuals in Clifton were arrested Monday morning on drug charges.
This morning we conducted a search warrant for the investigation of drugs. And during this search warrant, 2 subjects were arrested. One was going to be a male. His name's Michael Drake, about 54 years old. And the second one was a female named Jessica Lovely. She's about 36 years old.
Well, the incident happened at 40 Scotts Point Road. A search was conducted at approximately 7 a.m. and according to police, 315 grams of methamphetamine, 4.8 grams of fentanyl, and an undisclosed amount of drug proceeds were discovered. The search comes after a months-long investigation into drug trafficking at the residence. Lovely has been charged with aggravated trafficking of scheduled drugs and violation of conditions of release, while Drake was charged with aggravated trafficking of scheduled drugs and unlawful trafficking of scheduled drugs.
Bangor will soon be launching a program where social workers will be called to welfare checks rather than police officers. Matthew Jurancic has the story.
In an effort to minimize interactions between law enforcement and people experiencing a mental health crisis, this city is creating a community assistance team to deal with these issues.
We're going to kind of cut out the middleman of the police so the police can answer police calls.
The Bangor Police Department was granted $285,000 in this year's annual budget to create the program. Sergeant McAmley says this program will greatly benefit patrol officers as it will positively impact their workloads.
We're looking at optimistically a 50% reduction in the number of welfare checks we have to go to in a year, which would be approximately 2,000 calls for service.
This team would be responsible for calls involving people struggling with mental health crises but don't pose an actual threat. McAmley understands that there will likely be a period of adjustment.
I expect that we'll have a couple of officers that are going to have to go with these groups, or whoever goes out, this group for a while, and just to help them along and learn their role. And we expect that, and we're ready to deal with it until they can kind of get up and going on their own.
McAmley is optimistic that the program will make a difference both for officers and the community they serve.
If this works, or if even parts of this work, we can make parts of this work, I think that'll be fantastic. Maybe it won't be perfect, and we're going to have to tweak it along the way. So what? As long as we get something that we can work with and fix, if there's a part of it that's broken, we're moving ahead. Matthew
Jurancic, ABC7 and Fox 22.
Well, National Drug Take-Back Day is fast approaching, falling at the end of the month. The U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency, working in conjunction with most police departments and sheriff's offices in the area, will collect any unused medications or prescriptions that are no longer needed on October 29th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. According to the DEA, some addictions actually start in the home when unused medications either get into the wrong hands or are abused. And for a list of locations for the drop-off event, you can visit dea.gov/takebackday.
Well, changes are coming to the Hancock County Sheriff's uniforms. The familiar brown uniforms that the Sheriff's Department used to wear are no more. Hancock County Sheriffs have gone green now. Sheriff Scott Kane tells us they had some trouble finding some of the brown pieces of their uniforms when they would wear out. The only option was to pick a new color. They had a choice between black or green and chose green because it would be cooler in the summertime.
Well, a judge has rejected a request by developers of a $1 billion power line project to resume construction in western Maine. That keeps the CMP corridor project on hold until a court decision next year on the constitutionality of a referendum that halted the project. The judge on Friday rejected an injunction by New England Clean Energy Connect and said the case is on a, quote, fast track for a trial in April. The project received regulatory approvals, but state voters rejected it in a referendum after construction had begun. All right, well, let's take an opportunity now to take a look outside and see what's coming our way weather-wise. First check of the forecast coming your way.
All right, thank you. Happy Monday. Your first weather is brought to you by Kings Mountain RC. And okay, here we go. Temperatures today up near 60, 59 in Bar Harbor, 61 Millinocket. We'll take it. Even warmer temperatures are on the way, but as you know, there are some rain showers out there now. Look for the rain to kind of intensify for a few hours tonight into tomorrow morning, but then we're done for a while before more rain gets in here later on Wednesday. As there's just lots of moisture back off to our south and west right now, all moving our direction. So look for showers tonight into tomorrow morning. We'll get a break later tomorrow before we get more rain on Wednesday. It's going to look like this through tomorrow evening. Not a lot, just a little, but tomorrow night again, more rain comes in late tomorrow night into early parts of Wednesday. Our forecast then tonight, though, is scattered rain showers out there, nothing heavy, with low temperatures in the 50s. Your full forecast is coming up.
Alrighty, so some more rain on the way. Thanks so much. And coming up on the ABC 7 News at 6, the Maine Bureau of Motor Vehicles is set to roll out a new online appointment system.
And we'll tell you how a Clifton resident is serving up some sweet treats right from her home. Those stories and much more when we come right back.
I was a public health nurse for 29 years. I went into the homes of my neighbors, including many seniors, and cared for them. Then Paul LePage became governor, and everything changed. He kicked seniors off Maine's low-cost prescription drug plan. He cut a Social Security program when it was needed most, and even opposed Meals on Wheels funding. How cruel is that? We can't go back to Paul LePage.
The top funder of Better Maine is the Democratic Governors Association.
I served our country during the Gulf War. We were fighting for freedom in the Middle East. But in Washington, Bruce Poliquin would take away freedoms Mainers have earned. He voted for a nationwide abortion ban and said he supported changing the Constitution. Poliquin would allow politicians to stand between women and their doctors, even in cases of rape and incest. We didn't fight for our freedoms for politicians like Bruce Poliquin to take them away.
DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
It's simple, and it's not an imaginary threat. In fact, it's happening right now all over the country. Bruce Poliquin would hand over control of our healthcare decisions to politicians. Poliquin would allow politicians like him to make abortion illegal, even in the case of rape and incest. But that's not the end of the story. Poliquin also supported a national abortion ban, so even if Maine says no, we still lose control of our healthcare decisions. Bruce Poliquin is a risk we just can't take. Center Forward Committee is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message.
Veterans need a congressman who's got their backs. Jared Golden does. Jared's a veteran himself and worked with Republicans and Democrats to get the VA to build an inpatient facility in Maine to treat mental health and substance use disorders. Bruce Poliquin didn't have my back. Poliquin helped create a commission that wants to close VA facilities across Maine, forcing veterans to travel even further for VA care. Veterans can't trust Bruce Poliquin.
Hi, my name is Tony Ruda founder of the Senior Planning Center. There isn't a week that goes by that we don't help some Medicare recipient in their Medicare programs and save them money. The Senior Planning Center has locations and agents throughout the state of Maine. So why would you want to call an 800 number out of state when the help is right here at home? Give us a call so we can help you save money and make your Medicare decisions.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back. The Maine Bureau of Motor Vehicles has unveiled a new system with customer convenience in mind. AJ Douglas tells us more.
A time saver, a tool for parents, a tool for busy people.
Monday, the Maine Bureau of Motor Vehicles announced a new appointment system, which allows patrons to set up appointments online from 1 to 20 days in advance. The policy is credited to updated technology advancements with the busy Mainer in mind.
People are so busy, and especially working parents and people who have full-time jobs that might not be very flexible. Sometimes people have to take a whole day off from work to make sure that they get back in time, and this really eliminates that.
Walk-in services will still be available at all BMV locations. Secretary of State Shana Bellows reminds Mainers about existing online services such as registration renewals and vehicle title replacements. Bellows says this will serve as a resource, especially to those having to travel long distances to visit any of the 13 branches across the state.
People that are traveling from rural areas, sometimes that combined travel time plus the time of the Bureau of Motor Vehicles is significant.
Bellows reminds everyone that Real ID services must be handled in person. To schedule an appointment at a local BMV, log on to maine.gov. In Augusta, AJ Douglas, ABC 7, Fox 22.
Well, an annual tradition held by the Secretary of State continues this week. The Maine Student Mock Election is available for grades ranging from kindergarten through high school. Secretary of State Shana Bellows, who you just heard from, plans to talk to students about the importance of voting rights by visiting schools. The virtual initiative allows schools that sign up to have access to video accounts of political candidates to review their objectives in an open platform without bias.
We're really excited about this because for people voting for the first time, it can be intimidating. If you've never seen a ballot, you don't know how voting works. But we think the video offers a nice snapshot of who the candidates are and what they stand for that will help the students make their choices on their mock election ballot this week.
Well, around 155 schools are participating in Maine student mock elections this week. And for more information, you can visit foxbangor.com.
Sheila Bryant can't seem to stay out of the kitchen. It's her happy place. The Clifton resident recently built a commercial kitchen next to her home where she cooks up quite a business with her savory meals and desserts. Our Jody Hersey introduces us.
And I've always said when I grow up, I'm going to have a kitchen of my own. And now I do.
Sheila Bryant's dream of cooking for the masses has become a reality. Every day she crosses her lawn and heads to her new commercial kitchen and bakery in Clifton called Sheila's Maine Treats to whip up something good.
If somebody says, I'd like a chili or a shepherd's pie, I'll do it right up. If somebody says, I want chocolate chip cookies or pumpkin chocolate chip cookies, I'm on it.
From single portion meals for the elderly and homebound to large sheet pans filled with home-style cooking to feed a large family or supply a business luncheon, there's nothing Sheila can't make.
I have people that storm this place for the chocolate chip cookies and the Oreo balls. And the hearty meal would have to be Thanksgiving casserole, which is to die for, or my lasagna.
Bryant also takes her talents on the road and caters weddings and other events.
I even did my first charcuterie board, and it came out amazing. I was so excited.
She's received rave reviews from customers who can't help but gush over her food on her Facebook page.
My mom always said I had talent, and I never believed her. And Mama started this with me. She did pass away, and I know she's still here with me now, because every once in a while the pan will fall or something loud will happen, and I'll say, okay, Mom.
Sheila says that whenever the flag is out, her doors are open and her ovens are on. So rather than driving by, motorists should stop on in and try a treat for themselves.
Every day It's getting busier and more fun as it goes on. I love it.
In Clifton, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Well, still to come on ABC 7 News at 6. Fort Knox continues a Halloween tradition that's fun for the whole family.
And in sports, Maine baseball alum Jeremy Pena has been tearing it up all postseason. Now he's on his way to baseball's biggest stage. We'll have that story right after the break.
I was a public health nurse for 29 years. I went into the homes of my neighbors, including many seniors, and cared for them. Then Paul LePage became governor, and everything changed. He kicked seniors off Maine's low-cost prescription drug plan. He cut a Social Security program when it was needed most, and even opposed Meals on Wheels funding. How cruel is that? We can't go back to Paul LePage.
The top funder of Better Maine is the Democratic Governors Association.
I'm Jay Pearl from Carroll Harper & Associates, Maine's most experienced Medicare health plans agency. Every day we hear how complicated navigating the Medicare maze can be. Let us help. From enrolling in Medicare to finding the right Medicare health plan, we are your go-to agency. We represent Martins Point Generations Advantage and other Medicare health plans that meet our quality standards. There's no cost or obligation for our services, so call Carroll Harper & Associates today.
I'll always be an independent fighter for you.
Maybe he used to be. But when it mattered, Jared Golden helped Joe Biden hike taxes by billions on people making as little as $20,000 a year, and nearly doubled the IRS, targeting middle-class families for more, all while giving new tax breaks to the elite. Jared Golden. He's not our independent fighter anymore. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
87,000 new IRS agents. Jared Golden and the Democrats in Congress voted to hire them. They doubled the size of the IRS to seize another $20 billion in new taxes from the middle class. And now Democrats openly threaten to raise taxes again next year. Jared Golden won't stop them. He votes with Biden and Pelosi 83% of the time. It's a war on the middle class, and Jared Golden marches with them. The NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Joe Biden is crushing Maine. And who does Jared Golden support?
Golden's backing Biden.
Jared Golden said Joe Biden has
leadership that the country needs right now.
Higher taxes, record inflation, and still
Golden's backing Biden.
In D.C., Joe Biden relies on Jared Golden's votes.
President Joe Biden, and I'm asking you to vote for Jared Golden.
Jared Golden says he's independent, but anytime it matters, Golden's backing Biden.
I'm Bruce Poliquin, and I approve this message.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by Securitas Security Services. Securitas Security Services is hiring in coastal and central Maine. If interested, please call 207-990-1776.
Welcome back in. Thank you for staying with us. Let's start with some baseball. Sorry to all you Yankee fans up here. Not really, but the Astros completed the ALCS sweep of New York on Sunday night, officially sending Houston back to the World Series. And a big part of their postseason success, he was doing the same thing in Orono just a few years ago.
Your ALCS MVP is the rookie Jeremy Pena. Congratulations!
Wow, huh? I was not that surprised that he was doing so well, or that he's even in the big leagues. But you really, wow. My father called me up and was like, "The damn Yankees, Nick." I go, "Yeah," and I'm so I'm a Jeremy Pena fan as far as that goes.
Just 4 years after leaving Orono for Houston, Jeremy Pena is becoming a household name in the MLB. Now, just the 5th rookie to win a championship series MVP.
It's surreal. You dream about this stuff when you're a kid, and shout out to my teammates. We show up every single day. We stay true to ourselves all year, and we're a step away from the ultimate goal.
What's watching the same person play against much better players, and he is like massively much more enormous than he was when he was playing. So it's a very recognizable Jeremy Pena.
Pena slashed .333 with 2 homers and 2 RBI in the series. Most notably, this one. A 3-run shot to tie things up in the eventual series-clinching Game 4 to send them to the World Series.
It's a dream come true to be here. And, it's awesome. It's awesome. We've battled all year, and to get to this point is special.
For Durba, Pena is the first player he coached in college to get to the MLB, making it a little tough to watch sometimes, especially this postseason.
I actually have trouble watching the games. I can't watch it. I'm so emotionally involved in like his success that I had to turn it off. So I usually just watch the recap. I'm actually kind of worried because when my son Benjamin's playing, if I'm this nervous now watching someone play, I might be the worst sideline father there is.
And while Pena's success is no shocker to the guys at Mahaney Diamond, maybe they didn't expect this much this early.
I don't know if I saw that coming. I'm not surprised he's as good as he is, but he's an ALCS MVP, and it's how do you put words to that?
It's been fun watching Jeremy succeed at the MLB level, at the highest level, and now he is in the World Series. Let's go over to some football now. I enjoyed a Patriots-free Sunday, kind of a stress-free Sunday until you factor in my 4 fantasy teams. That's another story. Right now we are a few hours from kickoff, and we don't know who's starting at quarterback. Mac Jones practiced all week, but was a limited participant all week. He looked a lot better, according to reports, but still listed as questionable heading into Monday night. He and Bailey Zappi are the only 2 active quarterbacks on the roster heading into the game against Chicago. And it's a short week with the Jets coming up next week, so that could be a factor in the decision. But right now, Jones is on the active roster for Monday night, but we do not know if he will be starting. Certainly looking forward to watching that game. Regardless of who's starting, should be a great one. That is all the time we have for sports. Here is Conrad Sapinski with your full 5-day forecast.
Here we go. Your full weather is brought to you by Varney Chevrolet. Come see what the Varney value is all about. And all right, so typically this time of year, cold nights, cool days, not so much right now with high temperatures up near 60. We're going to work on that. Even mid-60s are back in the forecast for tomorrow and also for Wednesday and probably Thursday before some changes arrive for us later on this week. But look at the highs today. 60 here in Bangor, 61 Millinocket, 58 for Greenville. This is above normal, as you know, and even warmer temperatures are on the way. In fact, tonight we'll have low temperatures, or not so low temperatures in the 50s with those rain showers out there. And tomorrow rebound nicely back up into the 60s tomorrow for high temperatures once again, and most likely staying there for Wednesday and Thursday and maybe Friday. Friday could be a stretch for us. Okay, the wind today out of the north pretty much all day long. That's going to shift out of the west tonight and then shift out of the south tomorrow morning. You know what that means. That means warmer temperatures for us with temps back in the 60s tomorrow. It also could mean some dense fog. So the area will go calm for a couple hours tonight. That could give us some dense fog late. And, if you're driving 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, be wary of that. All right, some scattered rain showers out there now. These will actually expand in coverage for a few hours tonight before kind of pulling themselves back again tomorrow. And then another round of rain gets in here later tomorrow night into Wednesday. That one's going to be much heavier than the rain coming through right now. But here's a bigger picture. So some light rain showers out there tonight. You'll notice them under windshield this evening. And then tomorrow we should get a break for several hours, followed by more rain late tomorrow night into early parts of Wednesday. Let's walk you through it. Here's tonight, a couple of showers out there. Here's tomorrow morning, 7:30, looking at cloudy skies, a couple of sprinkles around. Tomorrow evening, okay, a couple of sprinkles still. But then later tomorrow night, we get more rain showers in here. These could actually intensify into Wednesday morning. And then by Wednesday afternoon, looking at some pretty heavy rainfall coming in. This could give us a quarter to a half, even an inch of rainfall getting in here on Wednesday. Our forecast, though, for tonight, though, is scattered rain showers out there. Some dense fog is likely. Look for not so low temperatures down near 54 with a calm wind after midnight. For tomorrow, okay, so lots of clouds around tomorrow. I went with highs in the 60s tomorrow, but if we get a couple rain showers or drizzle in there, likely low 60s, some sunshine through the afternoon, looking at mid-60s tomorrow with that south wind out of the south around 5 miles per hour. And then looking ahead, your 5-day forecast shows tomorrow that rain chance off and on, some drizzle tomorrow. And then late tomorrow night, more so on Wednesday morning, looking at heavier rain showers getting in here. But then turning partly cloudy on Thursday. And look at Thursday's high temperature. We're going to go for 70 on Thursday. That's not normal. Before a cold front comes through and cools us off back to reality in the 50s on Friday and Saturday.
So I'd say we've got a bit of a roller coaster ride coming our way.
I'd say so.
All righty then. Well, there's still more to come after the break. Stay with us.
paying more for food, gas, and rent. But Janet Mills wants to take even more of our money. Mills created a costly new grocery tax. Mills tax could cost us almost $60 more per month. Mills wants to raise the gas tax even higher. And thanks to Janet Mills, we're paying more to heat our homes, a lot more. We can't afford 4 more years of Janet Mills. The top funder of the Maine Republican Party is the Republican Governors Association.
Come to Ghost Fort in Bucksport October 29th for Halloween fun. Supported by Osborne's Plumbing and Heating for all of your plumbing and heating, natural gas, air conditioners, and mini split heat pumps installations. Trick or treat, come try our sweets. All the tasty treats you seek are on Verona Island at Sweet Cheeks. And Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we're Paramount.
Paul is just so driven to fix Maine's economy, secure jobs, and fight inflation that's harming our senior citizens and families with higher costs. He'll safeguard health care, fund police to stop crime, and ensure that parents have a voice in education to protect our kids and help them succeed. Paul always puts Mainers first, not the political insiders. So together, we can move Maine forward.
87,000 new IRS agents. Jared Golden and the Democrats in Congress voted to hire them. They doubled the size of the IRS to seize another $20 billion in new taxes from the middle class. And now Democrats openly threaten to raise taxes again next year. Jared Golden won't stop them. He votes with Biden and Pelosi 83% of the time. It's a war on the middle class, and Jared Golden marches with them. The NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The Biden agenda in Washington is hitting Mainers with historic inflation, and Janet Mills is making things worse. Under Biden and Mills, Mainers will pay 72% more on home heating oil. And with family budgets already stretched to the breaking point, Mills has stretched them even further, imposing a grocery tax that increases monthly bills by $60. Maine families simply can't afford Janet Mills. The top funder of Maine Families First is Thomas Klingenstein.
If you were hurt because of exposure to the toxic water at Camp Lejeune, Congress has made it possible for you to recover a settlement. Former Marine attorney James Beardsley wants to help you.
Call now to see if you qualify. Call 222-2222.
This week, prices, interest rates, taxes, the economy, where things stand. Plus, why the midterms matter so much no matter where you live. More Americans turn to World News tonight with David Muir, the most watched newscast on all of television.
Well, Fort Knox is continuing a Halloween tradition that all ages can enjoy. Our Devin Dagnall has that story.
With Halloween just a week away, Fright at the Fort is in full effect at Fort Knox, but the event can be a little intense for some of the patrons. So organizers have brought back a tradition that's suitable for even the youngest monster hunters.
There's nobody that's going to jump out. That's one of the things that's different about Fright. So we call it kind of Fright Light, where they're just static props. They're not grisly or gory or anything like that. They're just very simple.
Dean Martin, the executive director of Friends of Fort Knox, says that the Fright Light event began last year as a way for families to celebrate Halloween despite the COVID-19 restrictions held at the time. For Fright Light, families are given a list of monsters to find while they venture through the halls of Fort Knox.
It's meant for families and little ones, and they can go become monster hunters. They find some of the props, like the guy behind me, and they go through the fort and they find up to 16 of the monsters. And then they come back and they get a bag of candy.
We were able to meet with Bodhi Singh, a seasoned monster hunter from last year, to see how this year's hunt held up.
I came here to ask you, like the more spookier things?
There's more spookier things?
Yes.
You like spooky things?
Yeah, they also scare me at night.
Fright at the Fort and Fright Light events will continue until the end of October. Fright at the Fort will be during the nights of October 28th and 29th, and Fright Light will be during the days of October 29th and 30th. For more information, visit fortknoxmaine.com. In Prospect, I'm Devin Dagnall, reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Kids in Bangor are invited to take part in a fun Halloween event. The Parks and Rec Department will hold a special gathering on Wednesday night called Touch a Truck and Treat. It will allow kids to do some safe trick-or-treating while getting to check out emergency vehicles and more.
It kind of combines two of our bigger events, and it's right before Halloween, so it's not going to interfere with their Halloween plans, but give them a chance to get out and kind of honk the horns, touch the trucks, sit in them, and do all that fun stuff.
People are encouraged to dress in their Halloween costumes and enter Base Park from the agricultural entrance on Buck Street. It will all take place Wednesday from 6 to 7:30. The event is free of charge. Looks like a lot of fun and a really cool opportunity to get an inside and closer look at those emergency vehicles.
Looks like there's a couple of fun things to do for families and kids at Halloween. I loved our seasoned ghost hunter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Commenting on all the things he's going to hunt down or that he did hunt down in the fort. Good for him.
Yeah, and certainly a lot of courage to go in there too. A little spooky.
You won't catch me in there. That is for sure.
Yep.
Absolutely not. Alrighty, folks. So that is going to do it for us from everybody here at ABC7. Take care and have a great night.
Good night, everyone.